Welcome, time for some art fun. Today, we're painting our first canvas on this channel. If you've been around here, you know that I mostly paint in my sketchbook for this channel. And I also sometimes will paint on an individual piece of paper, largely for commissions, or if I want something to hang up in my house. But I have not painted on an actual canvas since I was 8 years old. When I was around 8 years old, my family put me into an art class as an extracurricular activity. And it was actually oil painting. And I remember the feeling of going into the art supply store even then, and the smell of the art supply store. I even remember that the song that was playing in the art supply store, because we had to go in and get a bunch of materials. I still remember the materials, all of the weird, interesting things, like the art box. It was kind of like a tackle box that you would put all your paints and your palette knives and your brushes and your mediums, like turpentine and things like that. I didn't even know what these things were. I knew what brushes were, but not the mediums. And you would take this little tackle box and a canvas to your class and you would paint, and the teacher would help you along. And I remember it's not like we painted all together the same thing. You would pick your subject. And of course, the subject that I picked, the one that I remember best and the one that my parents still have hanging in their house, adorable as they are, is this little fuzzy cat. So I was into cute animal art even back then. This is not new, but I stopped painting on canvases forever after that class. I only was working on paper in college. I've only been working in sketchbooks until really this last year, 2021, at which point I started working on individual pieces of paper, but never canvas again. And that makes sense because I was mostly into watercolor and water-based media and inks and things like that. I wasn't really using acrylics until very recently, comparatively very recently. And acrylics make more sense to me on canvas. Obviously, I don't think I could use watercolor on canvas unless I put some kind of like a watercolor ground on there, which is a whole other discussion. So as you know from my most recent few videos, I am trying to use up these flash paints right over here on the left. And I have used up several of the tubes. I only have a couple of the tubes left. And actually, as I'm doing this voiceover, the only tube left is the black tube. I've used all the paint up except the black tube. Woo! Celebrate with me. But this is one of the reasons that I was able to use up so much paint, because this is an 11 by 14 canvas. I was gifted 2 sets of 2 canvases for Christmas this year, and part of a Secret Santa. And people who know me, I'm super easy to shop for because I just want art supply. And literally everyone knows this about me. So my Secret Santa got me art supplies. And this was a really cool art supply to get because I would not have bought a canvas for myself. I'm so stinking intimidated by a canvas, or at least I was before I went ahead and bit the bullet and made this little koala bear piece. Little baby koala. And I know that one of my Australian friends in the comments let me know with my watercolor koala painting video that they're not actually koala bears, but I think, you know, just understand as an American who's never seen one other than in the zoo and knows nothing about them, they kind of look like bears. Like they could be little baby bears. Look at that tush. I mean, that's a bear cub tush. So I understand that that's not what they technically are. By the way, this is the old man phase. My husband started looking up old man pictures on Google when he saw this picture. I took a progress picture before I put in my darks and my lights. He was like, what are we doing, old man koalas? What are we doing here? So now that I've finished this piece, first of all, just spoiler alert, I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. It was so much fun to paint. I couldn't wait to get in my studio and work on it. No matter what else I was doing over the day or two that I was working on this, I couldn't think about anything but getting back in the studio and working on this little baby, because even as soon as I got the blacks down on the body, just to sort of define over top of the pencil that I used to do the sketch, I could not believe how cute I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew it was going to be so cute. I couldn't wait to work on it. but I didn't know that I was going to love it when I started working on it. So what I did is I just mixed some of my flash paints. I only had the primary colors, and I mixed some of them to make this green background, and I painted the whole canvas, including the sides, with the green. And I let it sit overnight, and then I thought about what I wanted to paint on top of it, and I saw this baby koala reference picture. It doesn't look exactly like this. I've obviously changed a lot from the reference picture. The only thing that's really from the reference picture is the basic body shape of the koala. Everything else is just, moving things around and making it work for a composition perspective that I enjoyed. And I knew, okay, I guess I'm going to just treat it like it's paper. I'm just going to paint on it like it's paper. And as you can see with this close-up, you really can't, because the texture of the canvas shows through so much. And so once I realized that, I just got comfortable blending and making the fur with a certain brush stroke with this round brush that I have. And once I got the hang of making the fur using the texture of the canvas to my advantage, I was in heaven. I was having so much fun. I honestly am a little worried about our retirement prospects because canvas is a lot more expensive than paper. And if I just start churning out canvases, it's going to be a lot more expensive than when I churn out pages in my sketchbook. But on the other hand, if we really think about it, how much am I saving in home decor? Because I don't have to buy a frame for this. Yeah, let's think about it that way. When we talk to my husband, let's explain to him, I don't have to buy a frame because I paint the edges of my canvas. Boom, done, fixed, problem solved. But I do have 3 more canvases. I did the same thing to the next one. I painted the whole canvas, including the sides, with more of like a coral. I'm looking at it now, but it's like a coral color, a really pretty coral color. And I'm going to be posting on my community page for what you all want me to paint on that. And I'll take that voting when I decide what to paint on that. I've just put it aside, fully painted with the base color, the background color, just like this had the green, until I can hear from you on what you want me to paint on that. And if you're watching this in the future and that's already done, you can just go look at the video in the series after this, and you'll be able to probably see whatever it was. You'll know more than I do sitting here today. So I just really enjoyed it. I was having such a blast. I definitely took more time and waited in between layers and let things fully dry. Can you even look at anything but that little baby's face? Like, how are you even focusing on what I'm saying right now? I can barely focus on what I'm saying right now because this little baby is so stinking cute. But it was just so much fun. I love how it came out. I'm so excited that I am doing this channel because a lot of what I'm doing is because I know I have you all to share it with, and I know I'm going to get your feedback and your thoughts and your ideas, and we can collaborate. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to show you, I was watching Moni D. Major's new video while I was doing this next layer, this next moment. I had taken some pictures and slept on it, and I thought it didn't have enough contrast in the back. So I decided to add these light layers to the top of the bark. Again, this part was from my head, so it's not like I had a reference picture for the trees. And I just really think this is a valuable thing. Some other artists use mirrors, like Sandy Hester's famous for using her mirror. Some people, there's a lot of different things you can do. Some people print it on black and white paper, or a black and white picture of their picture to see the values. I also do that sometimes, especially if I'm doing a commission. But for this, I just took a picture and looked at the picture and I could tell, okay, wow, there's not enough contrast on those tree limbs in the background. And since that's all that's happening back there, I wanted to make sure I had that. So just to kind of read you in on some of the thought process there, I think the values in this are the most important thing. You can tell that from when it was the old man phase with the koala, and now that it has the darks and the lights, it looks like a real fuzzy baby. It doesn't look like an old man. What do you think? My husband said that it's basically my dog, that I made my dog into a koala. I'll actually, of course, drop a picture for you in here of that little baby so you can tell me if he's right or wrong. But I just wanted to share this experience with you and let you know I was so intimidated by this canvas, the size, the fact that it's canvas. What if I don't know what I'm doing? I'm shocked at how this came out. I love it so, so much. It's hanging up in my studio now, right above my computer. So I just look up and I can see this guy looking over me, and it's so much fun. I love him. And when my husband saw him all done, It was the sweetest thing. He came in and told me, you can't ever sell that. You have to keep that. That's the cutest thing ever. I want him in the house forever. I want to be able to see him when I wake up and come out of the bedroom, and that's what we're going to see. It's just so cute. So I hope that this gives you some nerve to go out and tackle whatever art supply you've been hesitating on. I didn't need this to come out so cute. It could have been terrible. I was mentally prepared for it to be terrible, but it came out great and it was so much fun. So I hope this inspires you to do that. If it does, please let me know in the comments what you decided to try. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Check if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I would so appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. And until next time, remember, create something cute.